What's going on, drivers? Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper, and I am Old Snapper. In this video, we're going to talk about Doomsday trucking, is what I refer to it as. Now, what would you do in a Doomsday scenario out on the road? I know a lot of you are going to say, "Well, I'm armed. I'm not worried about it." Well, that's great. Glad you're armed. I'm not. I'm not no less worried about it. I'm going to tell you why. Your weapon is only good for the amount of ammunition that you have with you. And I doubt any of you are carrying that much ammunition around with you. Not only that, but they didn't stop making guns when they made yours. You can flip around on YouTube and you can see kids with automatic weapons in Chicago shooting at each other all the time. So trust me, there's more guns out there in the world. Not only that, but these trucks nowadays are made out of plastic and fiberglass. You could probably go all the way through one with a 22. I'd be really surprised if you couldn't. Being armed, I don't think it's going to change a whole hell of a lot. It depends on what your plan is. If you're going to hold up in your truck, then yeah, maybe. My plan wouldn't be to hold up in my truck. We're going to talk about this a little bit, and we'll give you a little bit of idea of what I think. Not that it's correct, but just my opinion. And I'd like to hear what y'all's plans are, or if you've even thought about it. I know there's a lot of tension in the world today, especially here in the United States. We got political tension, there's racial tension. You know, everybody's got an opinion, and everybody thinks if you're not doing what they're doing, then you're doing it wrong, you're living wrong. You know, vegans are trying to force their stuff down everybody's throats. Everybody who's not vegan's trying to force their stuff down everybody's throats. Everybody's trying to shove something in somebody's face all day long, all the time. And it's caused a lot of tension within our country. So at any point, this stuff can pop off. It could just come apart and the whole country go nuts. And I believe it could probably go nuts to the point that we don't have internet, we don't have cell phone service, we don't have anything, no way of communication with anybody. I could see it just flat falling apart. Just the whole web coming unwound. If that was to happen, what's your plan? And this is meant more for the OTR drivers than the local drivers. Because the local drivers, they go home every day. OTR drivers, we don't go home every day. And sometimes we're 1,000 miles from the house. So what's the plan? What would you do in a situation like that? How would you try to survive? This is just my thoughts, and it's just what I do. I have 2 backpacks. One backpack is survival stuff. I got a book in there that I ordered on Amazon, and it gives me plants and different things like that that are edible. I also have a bunch of little survival gear that I've bought over the years. I pick it, if I get near a army surplus store, I'll go in there and look around and see what they have. I'll pick up stuff. I've got little tablets for purifying water and different things like that. I've got a knife in there. I've got a fire starter. I got this piece of cable that's wound, and it's got a handle on both ends so you can saw through things. Works as a saw. Walmart, in the camping aisle, they got a lot of really good survival stuff too. But anytime I get around that stuff, I'll pick up a couple things and I throw it in my survival backpack. My other backpack is for my food. I keep plenty of food on the truck. Enough for a few days anyway. Enough that I could live comfortably for a few days. If I had to, I probably got enough food that I could stretch it out for a week or two if I had to in a situation. And I'm not talking about stuff that I got to put in microwaves. I got canned food, I got canned soups, I got all that kind of stuff too. That's what my extra backpack would be for. And then I would probably get away from the truck and out into the woods somewhere, preferably. Hopefully if something like that happens, hopefully I'm not in the city. If you're in the city and something like that happens, it's really just going to depend on where you're at, right? If there are empty buildings around you or old abandoned houses or something, it's just going to depend on what's around you. That scenario could change from place to place. It wouldn't be a bad idea to be thinking about that whenever you park at night, right? Because you just never know. There's no magic number that's going to tell us when it's going to happen or when it's not going to happen. Or I know that right now, floating around online, everybody's got this 9/23. Like on the 23rd, a whole bunch of stuff's supposed to happen. Supposedly it was in TV shows. I'm not a conspiracy theorist like that. I believe if there was a date that something was going to happen, they wouldn't be putting it right in front of our faces. I don't think they would do that at all. I think that's extreme conspiracy theory is all that is, in my opinion, and I may be wrong. When we wake up on the 23rd here in a few days, the world may have gone nuts, may not have internet, may not have cell phone service. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have those answers. But I think it's just extreme conspiracy theorist myself, my own opinion. 80% of the time, I'm parked in a rest area. 80% of the time, I get my shower sometime throughout the day, usually on my 30-minute break, is what I try to do. And then I park in a rest area that night. It's my favorite place to park. It's quiet. It's more secluded. I sleep better. That's usually where I'm parked at. So if I'm in a rest area, I'm probably going to be near the woods, probably going to be near, or the desert. Just depends on what part of the country I'm in, or river, something. If it all went down, and it went down like that, or highways were shut down, everything went bad, I would probably stay with my truck until I couldn't. Once I couldn't stay with my truck anymore, then I would retreat to the woods or whatever's around me. And probably at that point start trying to work my way home. I've got a compass and different things like that. I would just start working my way to the house. You know, using the compass the best I can with the maps that I have. I start trying to work my way to my family. One thing that we don't do that I think would be beneficial in a situation like that is networking. You know, let's say something happens and you're in the middle of Ohio. It gets to the point that it's that bad. You have to abandon your truck, so you abandon it. You're going to try to figure out what to do, or you're trying to get a plan together. Well, if you know somebody in the area where you can go and y'all can work together and survive and kind of make it until you can get a plan together to get home, it'd probably be a good idea. But the only way you can do that is if you talk to people outside of the internet. You actually develop friendships and things like that. You don't develop friendships and things like that, you're not going to be able to do that. But that's just my thought on that. It's not a real long video, and who knows, it may never happen. I just always kind of try to stay prepared as much as I can for whatever situation it is that I may encounter. I was sitting here thinking about it this morning. I got up, it's about 3 in the morning. I was having bad nightmares last night, so I couldn't sleep. I went ahead and got up, kind of waiting on my day to get started. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I wonder what other drivers do. I wonder if other drivers ever think about it. It would be something to consider, especially in today's day and time. With as much tension as there is in the world, I think it would be important to discuss that with your family, with other drivers, even with your friends. I think in today's day and time, with the atmosphere that we have, that it would probably be very important that those discussions are made. I mean, there's many ways that discussion can go. But I was curious about what other drivers out there do, or what other people out there do, especially the OTR drivers that are not home so much. We're out here, you know, we might be 2,000 miles from the house. What are your plans if something like that was to happen? Do you think about it? Do you ever consider in the back of your mind, you know, where you're parking at and different things like that in case something like that was to happen? I'm interested in hearing what your thoughts are, driver. Drop down in the comments below and let me know. Y'all take care, stay safe. Remember, we are all family out here, and keep trucking.